a.m. and it's a little drizzly out there, so be aware of that if you're headed out very soon. We're going to get a check-in with Justin to see how the day's going to shape up.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning to you. It is 6 a.m. on your Thursday, May 9th. Consider us an alarm clock that smiles.
Yes.
Exactly like that.
Wake up. Yeah.
Steph, have you ever got dressed up for a special occasion, go out to brunch or lunch like that, and when you're done, you look out in the parking lot and it's an absolute downpour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
That might happen this weekend.
This weekend for Mother's Day. As a matter of fact, Justin's here for Mike, and he says they've started to bump the rain chances up a little bit as we get closer.
It's looking a little bit better. I think we'll get some showers and storms. There's still a question on timing, but yes, if you have Mother's Day plans, especially if they're going to be outside, plan for some showers and storms. We brought those rain chances up to 40%. We're going to start with the pollen count. We had a long list yesterday: molds, pine, grass, pecan, pigweed. They were all there. But thankfully, they're all low. You know, the other thing we dealt with yesterday is some smoke in the atmosphere. We have all that agricultural burning going down in Mexico and Central America, and that tends to work its way up into our area this time of year. So the air quality was down a little bit yesterday. It was hazy, humid. Yeah, you know, there's just a lot in the air. We need something to clear it out, and we're going to get that a little bit later today with a frontal boundary, actually tonight. And that will cool us down, which will feel a lot better tomorrow. Visibility is down in spots. We're dealing with some fog. The airport, Port SA, Castroville, Hondo, all seeing some lowered visibility this morning, so be careful. There could be some spots where visibility drops a little bit below that. We're thinking temperatures will be in the 90s today, low 90s, but it'll feel more like upper 90s when you factor in the humidity. So it's another one of those days. But as I said, there is some relief on the way. We get that cold front. So this is our last day of heat. That cold front should be here, I'd say, overnight into early Friday. There is a small window for some storms along the front. We're going to watch that, because if we do see a storm, it could be strong. And then Mother's Day, as we said, rain chances are increasing. We're going to dive deeper into that forecast for you coming up in just a couple of minutes. Let's get over to RJ now and see how things are shaping up on the roadways.
All right, Justin. Yeah, big mess on the northeast side right now. We're used to seeing some of these conditions out there. Many of our drivers are already dealing with a lot of construction in this area, but this is actually a crash that's being reported northbound at 35 at Pat Booker Road. So the top rewind camera is a little bit south of Pat Booker, and we're seeing a big mess right here. Major backup right now in this area. 35 northbound, we have at least two of the main lanes blocked here on the left-hand side, starting to slowly get some bottleneck traffic moving through on the right-handed lane, but you can see that traffic is really not getting through this area. It's unfortunate because, again, we're already dealing with a lot of construction there and now dealing with a pretty major crash in this area. So I was trying to figure out some alternate routes here. Again, crash 35 northbound Pat Booker Road, and right now traffic is backing up past Judson Road. So if you're coming up this way or have to head this way, maybe O'Connor Road, that'll get you to Kitty Hawk over to 1604. That might be a solution. If you're coming, maybe if you want to exit Judson Road, you could do that as well and go on Judson all the way to Lookout Road if you want to try and avoid this big old mess here at 35 northbound at Pat Booker Road. And it looks like traffic's getting through at about 6 miles per hour in that area. The other trouble spot we're seeing right now is, I think this is because of ongoing construction in this area, 90 eastbound at Couples Road. I was looking at the camera a little while ago, and it looks like we are starting to pick up some construction in that area right now. But again, 35 northbound, top rewind. And then here's a look here at this little bit of traffic build up there, 90 eastbound at Couples Road. But it looks like we are at least starting to move traffic in this area. So again, we'll keep an eye on this situation there, 35 northbound on the northeast side. Give you more information here in just a bit. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
New this morning, shocking surveillance video released by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office overnight shows the moments two suspects opened fire on a home in northeast Bexar County that happened last night. 5 people, including 3 kids, were shot, and we'll have new details on the suspects coming up this morning at 6:30.
Now to an active silver alert from the Houston area. The LaPorte Police Department is searching for 84-year-old George Richardson. Authorities say he is 5'11", 185 pounds, and was wearing glasses, a short-sleeve button-up shirt, black pants, and black shoes. Richardson vanished on Tuesday afternoon. This was around 4 p.m. in LaPorte, which is on the coast east of Houston. He was driving a purple 2007 Ford Fusion with Texas license plate FGH8043. So if you have any information, you are asked to call that number on your screen right now.
A San Antonio man says he still has a bullet in his leg from that Market Square Fiesta shooting. If this is the first you're hearing about it, you're not alone. Last month, San Antonio police said 2 men were killed and 4 bystanders were hit, but now SAPD is confirming 5 people were hurt. This x-ray shows the bullet, Adam Jaramillo's, in his leg. His attorney says friends took him to a hospital, and San Antonio police say Jaramillo hadn't given them a statement. The deadly shooting is just one of several incidents involving guns and violence at Market Square during this year's fiesta. Jaramillo's attorney says the city should have made an effort to warn people of the dangers.
The city knew it, and they did not do anything to either warn, inform, or protect the citizens that went there for a good time, to enjoy fiesta.
We emailed the city twice yesterday asking about security complaints. We haven't heard back. Jaramillo's attorney says if they don't hear back from the city within the next 2 weeks, they plan to file a lawsuit.
Now, all 3 people involved in an armored truck robbery this week are in jail. San Antonio police tell us that Glenn McGarity, Anil Tedder, and Deontay Robertson are all accused of holding the driver of that truck at gunpoint while stealing the money inside. This happened around 1 p.m. Tuesday afternoon on Walsham Road on the northeast side. All 3 are charged with federal aggravated robbery. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is handling that investigation.
In your morning headlines, the DEA sounding the alarm, warning Congress that social media and other technology has made it easier than ever for Americans to get illegal drugs. The DEA administrator calls the drug epidemic a, quote, national tragedy, responsible for killing 22 teens in the U.S. every week. The agency asking Congress for more funding to invest in technology to better track drugs entering the country.
Within 2 or 3 clicks on a smartphone, people are having pills delivered to their front doorstep like Uber Eats, like they get pizza delivered.
Fentanyl is now a leading cause of drug deaths. The DEA says that it arrested more than 3,300 dealers last year alone, and nearly half the drug sales were linked to social media.
After only 7 months, Miss Teen USA 2023 is giving up her crown. So the Miss USA pageant will name a new Miss Teen USA. In a social media post, 17-year-old Uma Sofia Srivastava said her personal values no longer fully align with the director of the organization. Her resignation comes days after Miss USA Noleya Voigt resigned, citing mental health. Departing Miss Teen USA did not elaborate on her claims about the organization's values.
A new round of deadly storms has struck across the country, with reported tornadoes touching down in the U.S. for a 14th straight day.
As ABC's Rhiannon Alley tells us, at least 3 people have been killed across Tennessee and North Carolina.
This morning, the days-long severe weather outbreak has left a trail of destruction across yet another region of the U.S.
Violent tornado! Violent tornado!
Multiple tornadoes reported in Tennessee last night, killing at least 1 person in Maury County. Video from above reveals the power of the storm. Weather radar indicates the tornado lifted debris 20,000 feet into the air, trapping people in damaged homes. North of Knoxville, the sheriff in Claiborne County says a man was killed when his car was hit by a falling tree. A tornado also hitting communities around Clarksville. In Arkansas, this EF2 twister was caught on camera in Hot Springs. 13 tornadoes were spotted in 7 states yesterday alone, marking the 14th consecutive day that a twister has touched down in the U.S. A state of emergency also declared in Gaston County, North Carolina last night, where a powerful storm took down highway signs and power lines. 1 person was killed by a falling tree.
If you go by Sims Park, the winds were so strong that it blew the wall down. So there's a lot that's happened here in Gaston County. They were catastrophic.
Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Well, back here at home, Fiesta is over, but the spotlight is already on next year. The Ray Feo Scholarship Foundation and Ray Feo Consejo Educational Foundation has announced the next Ray Feo candidate. Entrepreneur and businessman Fabian Castillo was bestowed the honor. The San Antonio native and West Sider said he looks forward to making a difference through the Ray Feo Scholarship Fund.
I've been given to the community for many of years, and it's my time now to really make an impact to the city of San Antonio for the children that are going and trying to succeed and go into college. And now that we're doing vocational school, I really like that.
Rafael, also known as Fiesta's People's King, is elected by the scholarship program since 1947. The organization of former kings, business, and civic leaders has awarded $9 million to over 6,000 students in the San Antonio area.
Checking the time right now, 10 after 6, 77 degrees.
Still to come, it's almost time for the NBA draft lottery. What Spurs fans could see this weekend as the team looks to build around Victor Wembanyama.
And after the break this weekend is a Houston homecoming for San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips. We've got a preview of their matchup on Sunday.
And looking out there with live cam, seeing some sprinkles on some of our TransGuide cameras, so be aware of some of the wet roadways out there as you head out. We'll be right back.
Time for a look at morning sports. The NBA has officially named this year's most valuable player, and for the third time in 4 years, it's Denver Nuggets center Nikola Jokic. Jokic beat out Thunder star guard Shane Gilgeous-Alexander, who finished second, and the Mavs' Luka Doncic, who came in third. This marks the Joker's third NBA MVP, tying him with Moses Malone, Magic Johnson, and Larry Bird. He's the 9th player to win 3 or more MVPs. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar leads the way with a whopping 6. Well, here at home, the NBA Draft Lottery is Sunday, 2 p.m. live right here on KSAT. It's been almost a year now since the ping pong balls fell the Spurs' way with a winning combo of 14, 5, 8, and 2. That allowed the team to pick Victor Wembanyama, #1 overall. It was the Spurs' 3rd overall #1 pick, along with David Robinson and Tim Duncan. Spurs odds are not quite as good this season to get the top pick, but they still have a double-digit chance. However, Detroit, Washington, Charlotte, and Portland all have a slightly better chance than San Antonio this year. San Antonio Brahmas coming off a tough loss against the D.C. Defenders, but they were all smiles at practice this week. Take a look. The Brahmas heading to Houston to take on head coach Wade Phillips' former team, the Houston Roughnecks. Bernie High School alum and starting quarterback Quentin Dormady look to keep the Brahmas in the hunt for the playoffs. And Dormady and Coach Phillips gave their takes on how special this upcoming game in Houston is going to be.
Going back to Houston, I mean, that's where I live. And so I got to be able to live there, so we need to win this game. So, and all our players know that you know, this is, again, the most important game of the year.
Now they're going to run a lot of stuff defensively, so we got to be ready for it all. But really, we just got to go out and execute the plays that are called, and the rest will work itself out.
Kickoff for the San Antonio Brahmas is set for 2 p.m. on ESPN.
Time now, 6:16, and let's get a check back with RJ's kind of a holdup there at I-35.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a bottleneck for all of our drivers on the northeast side. Again, we're used to seeing construction out there. This, unfortunately, not construction related. This is actually due to a crash, and it looks like we have another emergency vehicle just pulling up to the scene right now. So we're looking at here 35 northbound Topperwine Road. Hopefully these folks can let this emergency vehicle get through there, because we need to clear things out in this area. There's a crash being reported further up 35 northbound at Pat Booker Road. So 35 North, Pat Booker Road, we have at least 2 main lanes blocked, and of course the shoulder in this area. We are seeing traffic slowly get through on the right-handed lane of 35 northbound, but again, things not looking great out there as we take a look at our maps. And this red streak right here, yeah, things not looking good in this area. So just trying to figure out some alternate routes. You could try and take Judson Road up to Lookout Road. You could also try and take O'Connor Road if you just want to kind of avoid all this mess right now up to Kitty Hawk. That'll get you up to 1604. But not very many good options at the moment right now as we're seeing traffic get through there at about 6 miles per hour once you get up to Topperwine and 35. Let's take a look at the other incidents across the city and a couple of things on 410 right now. 410 Babcock Road, that's on the westbound lanes of 410. I saw this camera a little while ago. Looks like that's actually cleared out, so I'll just double check that here in just a bit. And then 410 Ingram Road, we have a stalled vehicle being reported in that area. But again, biggest thing that we're seeing at the moment right now, a couple of main lanes blocked here, 35 northbound at Pat Booker Road, and not great for all of our drivers out there northeast side. Not much else to say. It's already, dealing with a lot out there on the northeast side, and this is just adding to some of the.
RJ gets a little taste of what was happening in your absence.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Glad you're back.
Yes.
You're the traffic expert. I'm just the fill-in guy, but I am going to make an observation here.
Yes.
Northbound I-35 near Topper Line has been a mess almost every day this week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What
Good
is
observation.
Poor drivers.
Construction, construction, obviously a crash there. And a lot of times, people are trying to make their way through the construction, and then they usually end up not paying attention, and maybe we see an incident like this.
Yeah.
Not great.
Brutal.
Hopefully it clears up.
And there's some fog out there this morning, too, to add insult to injury. So fogs, drizzle. I think this is going to be the last morning of that, though, thankfully. This is kind of a breakdown forecast here, just a basic and simple. Hot and humid today, cooler and drier tomorrow. This is what we've been waiting on. That cold front moves through tonight. And I feel like we've been talking about it for the better part of a week now, which we have, but it's finally here. There is a 20% chance of a storm as that front comes through. So we are going to watch for that, but the bigger story will be temperatures in the 80s tomorrow, which I know is not a huge cool down, but it is going to make a difference. And when you have lower humidity, that feels so much better. Here's our forecast today. Drizzle, clouds, fog this morning. That's going to last until about noontime. Then we'll see the clouds start to break up, and then temperatures will make their way into the low 90s. Clouds have held on last couple of days, and that's saved us a little bit when it's come to temperatures. I think that's probably the case again today. Still, even with a little bit of sun, we'll manage to get up to around 91, which will feel so much hotter when you factor in all that thick humidity. Our forecast today, lots of clouds through noontime, as I said. Then as we head into the afternoon, dry line starts to work east. We start to watch our front move south. It's along that boundary where we could see some showers and storms. Small chance of that, and honestly, I think the best odds are going to be off to our north and east. But if we were to get a storm going along the front near the dry line, then it could very quickly become strong to severe, and that's why we need to watch it. It's one of those what we call conditional forecasts. If we can get the storm going, then severe weather is a good bet, but it's a big if. By midnight, that front's coming through, and then by tomorrow morning, we're in the cooler, drier air, and we're still going to get a lot of clouds coming up tomorrow. The severe weather risk for this afternoon and this evening, we are right on the edge of things. So as you go north and east, the odds of severe weather increase pretty dramatically. So from Dallas-Fort Worth down to about Austin, that's where we have, on a scale of 1 to 5, about a 3 of severe weather, and that continues off to the east, by the way, as well. But yeah, we are right on the edge, and should we see a storm, hail would be the main threat. Winds, gusty winds would be possible too. We'll watch it. The other side to this forecast is that we are increasing rain chances for Mother's Day. We want to alert you of that because we're going to get a storm system coming through that'll give us some pretty decent lift. Saturday, I think rain chances are on the low end. We're going to put it in, though, 20%. It's Sunday, though, as this low gets a little bit closer and we get some overrunning. And the situation, I think, is just pretty good for some showers and a few storms Sunday afternoon. So if you have outdoor plans for Mother's Day, know that that's a possibility. Right now, we're going to put in a 40% chance. Temperatures right at 79 for Mother's Day. So not too hot. 80 on Saturday, and then once we get into next week, things warm up again. 87 for Monday. We'll get some 90s next week, and there will be some more small chances for thunderstorms.
All right, watch out for it then. Thank you, Justin.
Yep. 622, 77 degrees.
We'll be right back.
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Welcome back. In your morning consumer headlines, get ready to see more ads on Amazon Prime Video. You'll soon see ads whenever you hit pause, unless you pay an extra $3 a month. Other streamers are already doing it, trying to boost revenue.
OpenAI is reportedly developing a search function for ChatGPT. Bloomberg says the experimental search feature could instantly spit out results with citations, and the chatbot will also pull up illustrated instructions and diagrams.
Finally, I get help with my homework. And critics are calling Apple's ad for its new ultra-thin iPad soul-crushing. We see creative objects being crushed to form the device. Some viewers say it hit the wrong note, especially in this day of artificial intelligence and automation. Oh, now I want to see the whole thing.
I know. Well,
there goes Angry Birds.
I know. I don't know if I like the instruments being crushed.
Yeah, I get it. 626, 77 degrees.
Look out there with TransGuide right now. Ugh, still a mess there at I-35 at Topper Line. And RJ says it looks like a wreck has caused a lot of this backup. We're going to check in with him after the break.
As we start this half hour, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office says 5 people, including 3 children, were shot last night on the northeast side. What we've been able to learn coming up.
And let's look out there with live cam right now. We're starting at 77 degrees, a little drizzly in some areas, but we are looking forward to a cold front.
All right. Good morning, everybody. It is 6 a.m. on your Thursday. It is May 9th.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a good weekend. For fans of not the heat, you have something to look forward to, definitely. Justin joins us now to tell us more of what we can expect.
I think we all kind of fit into that category at this point. It's been a week of so much humidity and stickiness that we're ready to see that kind of go away, at least for a couple days. But we're going to have to wait until tonight for that to happen. Visibility is down. All that humidity this morning is creating some fog. And we're seeing visibility is down about a mile in Castroville, 1.88 at Port SA. Honestly, these numbers have held pretty steady, so they're not, the fog's not terribly thick, but it is there. With some drizzle and sprinkles out there, you may have to use your windshield wipers briefly this morning. That's a possibility. Here's what we're waiting on. Frontal boundary. Right now it's to our north. Look at these temperatures across the Texas Panhandle. 46 in Amarillo, 59 in Lubbock. That sounds amazing. That kind of cool air is not going to make it here, but we will see a cool down tomorrow. Once this front moves through. It'll take it until tonight, though, for it to move through San Antonio, by the way. There's a look outside. We've got some moisture on the lens there. No surprise. 77 at the airport, 78 in Braunfels, 80 in Pleasanton. It is honestly amazing to me that this temperature is not falling. I mean, think about that. It is 6:30 in the morning. It is still 80 degrees in Pleasanton. That humidity is just keeping these temperatures from really falling anymore from where they are. This is the last day of it, though. That cold front tonight, as we said. Along the front, there could be a couple storms. There's a small window for that. We'll talk more about the threat for severe weather coming up. And then Mother's Day, as we've been saying, rain chances increasing. Showers and storms looking a little bit better for Mother's Day. More on that in just a bit, too. But let's get over to RJ now. 35, still a mess.
Yeah, still a mess, but I was looking at the camera here, and it looks like we were getting just a little bit of relief a couple minutes ago, and now it looks like we are back to standstill traffic here. 35 northbound at Topper Wine. If you're just joining us, just waking up right now, we have got a big crash in this area. You see multiple emergency vehicles on the scene right now. We have at least 2 main lanes blocked on the northbound side of 35. So this crash is actually up further north at Pat Booker Road, excuse me. So the camera looking at here is 35 northbound Topper Wine. You see the backup here. Seen some traffic get through on some of the frontage road area here, and obviously bottlenecking in this area right there. That one main lane that is still open there, 35 northbound. Again, so this crash being reported at Pat Booker Road. You see some significant backup here in this area, basically backing things up all the way to O'Connor Road in this area. May want to think about taking Kitty Hawk Road to get to 1604, or if you can, maybe take North Weidner all the way up to Lookout Road. That might be an option to kind of get around on some of this mess that we're seeing in this area. So it's something that we will continue to monitor as we make our way through the rest of our 6 o'clock hour. Taking a look at the rest of the city, and fortunately everything else is looking pretty good. Unfortunate situation there, northeast side, but we have cleared out a stalled vehicle that was at 410 Somerset Road, so we're good to go there. And also cleared out a couple incidents there, 410 Babcock and also 410 at Ingram Rose. Biggest thing we're seeing right now, a couple of main lanes blocked here, 35 northbound Topperwine to Pat Booker Road. I would say just give yourself some extra time if you have to head out in this area. Back to you guys.
It is the video everyone is talking about this morning, and we have just learned moments ago that a person has died in this deadly shooting at a home in northeast Bexar County last night. This is surveillance video released by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office overnight and shows the moments two suspects opened fire on that home, injuring 5 people, including 3 children. Again, we have now learned one person has died. We just got off the phone with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office moments ago. Deputies were called to this home just before 8 last night in the 6700 block of Windsor Hollow Drive. That's not far from Walsham Road. Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says 2 men pulled up to the home in a gray vehicle, got out, and started shooting. 3 of the shooting victims are under the age of 10.
2 suspects got out on foot, walked around the front of the residence, approached on very close to the residence. I'm thinking within 10, 15 feet, and then started shooting into the residence with long rifles. Probably about best we could count, 20 to 25 shots.
The victims were taken to the hospital in critical condition, and since then, one person has died. We don't know if it is an adult or a minor. The 2 suspects got away in a gray car, and there's no official description available at this time.
And do you remember this video right here? We showed it to you about 4 months ago. San Antonio police have arrested the person they believe pulled an elderly man down a moving escalator at North Star Mall. Now, on January 27th, investigators say a woman and the victim got into an argument inside a dressing room at a store inside the mall. The San Antonio Police Department reporting that led to a man yanking the 81-year-old victim down the escalator, and it was all captured on surveillance cameras. San Antonio police say this is the suspect seen in that video. This is 31-year-old Damon Garcia. He is charged with serious bodily injury to the elderly. Right now, police say he is being held in the Travis County Jail, waiting to be extradited to Bexar County.
A San Antonio councilwoman describes the loose dog situation around the city as severe and ongoing. Max de los Santos says a dog attacked him so badly he had to have both his legs amputated. A local councilwoman says in 2019, an animal care services study documented there were, get this, 34,000 loose dogs around San Antonio. Of those, about 87 to 96% actually had owners. So now both residents and members of council want steeper fines for people with dogs that repeatedly get loose.
We have a loose, dangerous dog crisis in San Antonio, and so we needed to address it.
Hit them in the checkbook. The city needs to make them accountable. Hit them where it hurts, so they'll think twice.
The councilwoman recommends people be fined $500 for a second offense, and after that, a minimum $750 fine. She submitted the proposal last week. It will now make its way to a council committee where members should discuss the measure within 60 days.
Looking and seeing other young female subjects in the photography, we also saw that it's possible that there may be other victims.
Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar says there could be more victims out there after a local photographer was arrested. 48-year-old John Stephen Lill is accused of sexually assaulting a woman. The sheriff says the victim told deputies she hired Lill to take bourgeois-style photos of her, and instead, investigators say he took advantage of her. Deputies arrested him and say that he confessed to giving her alcohol before having sex.
Of course, obviously, he's claiming that it was a consensual nature. The victim states otherwise.
Well, investigators believe this photography session was supposed to be a side job for Lill. We found out he was also on staff as a photographer at USAA. The sheriff's office wants to know if you or someone you know has been a victim. If so, call the number on your screen.
This morning, we have an update to a story we've been following here at KSAT. After 3 years, Bexar County commissioners finally released funds promised to SAM Ministries to help provide housing for the unhoused in the community. The county only released half of the already approved $2 million. This week, $950,000 was approved to begin the renovation of the Hudson Apartments on Blanco. In March, the apartments were damaged by fire. Sam Ministries is working with the insurance company to repair the damaged units. Additional county funding will then be released.
In the latest, KSAT investigates a man on the southeast side says he's installed additional surveillance cameras on his property to protect himself from police. Alex Delgado was detained by the San Antonio Police Department officers in late February after they showed up at his home looking for a domestic violence suspect. He says officers pushed their way inside, took him to the ground, and handcuffed him. Problem is, they were at the wrong house.
I said, my wallet's on the table, get my ID and you can see who I am and this is where I live. And then that's when they finally realized that they're at the wrong house.
Now we have that full story, including what Ring camera video shows and the department's response so far to that altercation on our website at KSAT.com.
It's now 6:39, 77 degrees.
Up next, a very busy weekend is coming up fast. We have a first look at the culture, food, and art expected during the San Antonio Asian Festival.
Welcome back. San Antonio is home to roughly 45,000 people who identify as Asian.
This weekend, the community is invited to share some of their culture, food, and art during the San Antonio Asian Festival.
Patty Santos tells us what it means to a female athlete passing on that culture.
Alpha Adams. I'm from Taiwan.
Alva Adams has been practicing the martial art of Korea, Taekwondo, since she was 13 years old.
Taekwondo is art, and it's very important.
An art that focuses the mind, body, and self. It can also be competitive. This passion has taken her across 20 countries to compete and referee. Most recently, she won gold in a competition in Brazil. In 1988, she took bronze in the South Korea Summer Olympics. Now, she's passing on the techniques she's mastered.
I think it's very important not only pass on the Asian culture, but also pass on the arts so that we allow the youth group who are interested and have Olympic dreams that they want to be top athletes.
Adams has called San Antonio home for 30 years. She's the chair of the San Antonio Asian Festival and says it's a way for the Asian community to stay connected in their new homes.
It's very important that we don't lose our identities, and that's why the diversity and inclusion is very important for me and for many the groups that are involved. So to be able to have an Asian Resource Center here in San Antonio, and I think it's very important. And also make a statement: hey, San Antonio is very embraced of multicultural.
And guys, get this, beyond San Antonio, she's also a big part of elevating the combat Taekwondo movement for top athletes around the world. And about this weekend, the 2024 San Antonio Asian Festival happens on Saturday at La Villita from 11 till 6 p.m. Admission is $15 per person. Kids under 12 years old get in for free. And there will be, of course, cultural performances, food, and the event benefits the Asian Resource Center of San Antonio. Guys?
Thank you, Patty.
Time now, 6:44, and I didn't think it was possible, but it actually looks a little worse there at I-35 at Top Rewind.
She's not wrong, RJ.
Yeah. It's definitely not good out there for all of our drivers on the far northeast side right now. And again, we are going to see more traffic out there build throughout our 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock hour. So chances are we're going to be seeing even more of this situation out there here in just a bit. And part of the reason, too, is because there's now another crash being reported in this area a little bit further up the road, actually on 1604 right at 35. So just a lot of things going on in this area as we take a look at our maps. And yeah, traffic is built up past O'Connor Road, basically to North Weiner Road right now. So that's a potential option if you need to just kind of get around this. Weiner will take you to Lookout Road, or you could still try and exit O'Connor Road and then go up to Kitty Hawk Road to get to 1604. But things not looking good there again. Two main lanes northbound 35 are shut down at the moment. There's also another crash being reported at 35 and 1604. Let's take a look at the city map here, and everything else across the city looking pretty good. We do have a stalled vehicle being reported at 35 southbound at Benzingelman Road. That's going to be around the Bamsey area, but not causing too many delays. And this just popped up on our map right there, a little bit south of downtown San Antonio. I'll see what exactly is going on there. All right, so Patty just mentioned it. Asian Festival, that's going on this weekend. It's going to be a jam-packed weekend across downtown San Antonio. So just be prepared to deal with some parking situations in this area because there's going to be a lot going on. We have the Luke Combs concert 2 nights, Friday, Saturday. Of course, the Texas Eats Foods Festival, that's going to be going on at Smoke Barbecue. And then we mentioned La Vita, that's going to be busy. We're also going to have NostalgiaCon going on at the Convention Center and the Children's Ballet of San Antonio at the Majestic. So just a lot of different things going on. We're going to be talking about this tomorrow as well and talk about via ride share. So a lot of different things happening downtown San Antonio.
A busy Mother's Day weekend.
Definitely.
Yeah, so just a few days away, but it's never too early to start appreciating and celebrating Mom. That goes for us here at KSAT 2.
Yeah, we want to see your Mother's Day pictures. You can send them in to KSAT Connect right now. We've got an article on how to do that on our website, or you can just scan this QR code and go straight to that article.
Aww.
Aww.
We've already gotten quite a few.
Have we?
Yeah, we're going to start showing some
right
of those.
now.
But there are some great pictures.
Okay.
Yes, so keep them coming. We definitely want to honor all the moms out there.
Yeah.
Yesterday, so hot, guys. Not only here, but Deep South Texas. I mean, this number is honestly unreal. 109 was the high in Zapata yesterday, as you might imagine. This was the hottest place in the country by a large margin, in fact. And we'll be back in this range tomorrow across the valley in Deep South Texas with these numbers likely rising to around 108 in Zapata today, 105 in Laredo, 105 in Del Rio. This is out ahead of a cold front that is going to sweep through, and it will cool us down tomorrow. It'll take until probably late tomorrow to get all the way down to the valley, but there will be some lower temperatures there too. And then you go up into North Texas, and the highs today are in the 70s. So that is the difference. This isn't a huge, strong, powerful front, but at least it will change things a little bit because we are stuck in this humid, drizzly pattern. We've been there for like a week and a half now. 77 in San Antonio, 76 is the dew point. And here's a look at our highs today. I think around 91 in San Antonio. As you go west, where the air's a little drier, you will get some triple digits on the map. And then as you go north, temperatures are a little bit cooler. Here comes the front, and tomorrow we're only looking for a high of around 84 or so. So at least a 5 to 10 degree cool down, and that's all we can hope for at this point. The forecast, once the front comes through, I do think we'll have a chance for some showers and storms. It's a small chance, but if we do get a storm to take shape, I think there is a decent opportunity for it to become strong to severe. So I'm fast forwarding to 9 p.m. this evening as the boundary gets a little bit closer, and it does show some storms flaring up to the north and east of San Antonio. And by the way, that's where the best odds will be, but I can't rule it out here in town. Once the front comes through, though, that's when drier and cooler air starts to slowly work into the area. So the Storm Prediction Center does have parts of the area within a risk for severe weather. On a scale of 1 to 5, about a 2 for the hill country and the areas north of San Antonio. Then as you get up to Austin and Dallas-Fort Worth, that's where the odds of severe weather climb quite a bit. Beyond that, we'll get some clouds coming up tomorrow and Saturday, maybe a couple showers here and there. But I think rain chances are low Friday and Saturday. It's not until Sunday, obviously Mother's Day, where rain chances start to really pick up. We'll get some energy coming in from the west, and showers and storms look to be a pretty good bet during the day on Sundays. So if you do have outdoor plans for Mother's Day, know that you may want to either have alternate plans or at least take an umbrella with you. 20% chance Friday, Saturday, a high of only 79 on Sunday, but a 40% chance of rain. And then as we get into next week, we'll have a couple more opportunities for some showers and storms, and temperatures heat back up.
Let's wait on the heat.
Now, I'll see what I can do, but no promises.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Right now, we're at 650, 77 degrees.
For now, looking out there with live cam, a little drizzly in some areas, but not too bad. We're looking forward to that cold front that Justin's been talking about all morning. We'll be right back.
Don't forget to get your tickets for the first ever Texas Eats Food Festival.
That's going to happen on Saturday, May 11th at Smoke Barbecue. Now, 20 local chefs will be out there offering samples of their food, and all benefits the San Antonio Food Bank. So just scan the QR code on your screen right now for those tickets, or you could go to texaseatstv.com for more information.
If you're already going this Saturday, here are some options for parking near Smoke Barbecue. There are 4 parking lots and 1 parking garage in the area, all for $10 or less during the event. You can find the full list of options and locations over at KSAT.com.
Well, time now is 6:54, and let's go ahead and get an update on the situation at I-35 at Topperwine with RJ.
All right, not looking good as we get close to the 7 o'clock hour here. Again, 2 main lanes blocked here on the left-hand side because of a crash that was earlier at I-35 northbound at Pat Booker Road, but there's also reports of another crash there at 35 and 1604. Let's get another look at the backup that we're seeing here. So this is further south there, 35 at Judson, and we're just not seeing any traffic move through this area. Again, standstill right now, stop and go, however else you want to describe it, as we take a look at our maps, and we do see that we have a buildup all the way past to Weidner Road. You could try and exit there, get to Lookout Road. That might get you through this, or get up to Kitty Hawk Road if you need to get out to 1604. But either way, a big mess out there northeast side, and we will continue to give you updates as we get to our 7 o'clock hour and our cut-ins. Justin.
Looks like there's a little bit of fog in that shot too, RJ. And we've got reports of light drizzle and light rain in spots. So it's just going to be kind of damp this morning. So very humid, so it stands to reason. Temperatures will eventually make their way up into the 80s. We'll see the clouds try to break up some this afternoon, and that puts us in the low 90s. Heat index values will be in the upper 90s in a lot of spots. And then we start to add in a small chance of rain this afternoon, 20%. If we can get a storm going, then severe weather is possible. We'll have some more small chances tomorrow, but the bigger news will be that cooler, drier air. We'll get that Friday and Saturday. And then, yes, we've bumped up rain chances for Mother's Day, 40% chance of showers and storms.
And you guys have reserved the right to bump it up even further for Sunday.
If the models keep looking the way they are, I think that's a possibility. So stay tuned.
Okay, we'll watch out for that. Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us.
Have a great day. Good Morning America is next.